Morning light spilled gently over Maplewood Heights, a picture-perfect town known for trimmed hedges, quiet streets, and polite smiles. From a distance, it looked untouched by pain, like nothing ugly had ever happened there. But inside the historic Crestmont Hotel, something sharp and calculated was unfolding. White lilies framed the entrance. Crystal arches shimmered under the sun. A black luxury sedan waited by the curb, polished so clean it reflected the sky. Guests gathered in designer attire, laughter floating easily through the air. It was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it was a setup. If you believe in second chances, in kindness, and in the way life often turns, then please take a moment to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Drama Way. And don't forget to comment below. We love hearing your thoughts. The groom, Julian Reeves, had sent an invitation weeks earlier, not out of goodwill, but out of pride. He wanted one person there more than anyone else. His former wife. Not because he missed her. Not because he regretted anything. But because he wanted her to see. To witness the life he believed she never deserved. To feel replaced. To feel erased. What Julian didn't plan for was this. She wouldn't arrive shattered. She wouldn't arrive alone. And she certainly wouldn't arrive small. The woman he left behind. Years earlier, Clara Reeves had been invisible in rooms that valued status over substance. She was kind to a fault. Soft-spoken. The type of woman people underestimated because she never competed for attention. She met Julian when ambition still lived in his eyes instead of arrogance. Back when dreams mattered more than appearances. She loved him deeply. And she proved it in ways no one applauded. While Julian chased opportunity, Clara chased survival. She worked long shifts at a bakery before sunrise, cleaned offices after dark, and skipped meals so rent would never be late. Every sacrifice carried his name on it. She believed in him, even when he stopped believing in her. When money finally found him, love quietly disappeared. Julian began treating Clara like a chapter he'd outgrown. And one afternoon, with the same cold efficiency he used in business, he ended their marriage. No warning. No apology. No safety net. Just silence. Weeks later, Clara learned she was pregnant. Not with one child. But 3. Fear nearly swallowed her whole. But motherhood awakened something unbreakable. Rising where no one was watching. The years that followed were relentless. 3 infants. Endless exhaustion. Bills that never waited. Nights where sleep came in fragments. Days where giving up felt tempting, but impossible. Clara learned strength quietly. She stitched dresses after bedtime. Took freelance work online. Slowly turned her creative skill into income. What started at her kitchen table grew into something real. By the time her daughters turned 6, Clara owned a modest design studio. She didn't chase luxury. She built peace. Meanwhile, Julian flourished publicly. New circles. New wealth. New fiancée, Lillian Grant, elegant, wealthy, admired. He spoke casually of his past, presenting himself as the one who had escaped struggle. And when wedding plans began, arrogance whispered an idea. Invite Clara. Let her watch. When the envelope arrived, Clara stared at it for a long time. Her first instinct was to throw it away. But then she looked at her daughters, bright-eyed, curious, confident, and realized something important. This wasn't about him anymore. It was about teaching them how dignity looks. She accepted. The wedding day shimmered in gold and glass. Guests mingled. Cameras flashed. Julian stood proud in tailored white, soaking in admiration. Lillian smiled effortlessly beside him. Then another car arrived. Not extravagant. But deliberate. The door opened. 3 little girls stepped out first, wearing soft lavender dresses, hands linked, eyes wide with wonder. Then Clara emerged. Not loud. Not dramatic. She wore a deep emerald gown that moved like calm water. Her posture was steady. Her expression peaceful. Conversation died. Heads turned. Julian froze. For the first time, his confidence cracked. Clara walked forward slowly, her daughters beside her, radiating a quiet strength no diamond could rival. She didn't look at Julian. She didn't need to. The room already understood. Throughout the ceremony, whispers followed her. Not cruel ones. Curious ones. Regretful ones. People began to connect dots Julian had tried to erase. They noticed the children's manners. Their joy. The way they looked at Clara, with trust, not fear. Lillian noticed too. Comparison settled heavily in her smile. When the ceremony ended, guests approached Clara, not with pity, but respect. She accepted their words with grace. She had nothing to explain. Nothing to defend. Julian's plan collapsed without confrontation. Because Clara didn't come to prove anything. Her presence did it for her. What the night remembered. By the end of the evening, no one spoke about the vows. They spoke about her. The woman who had been abandoned and returned whole. The mother who raised 3 daughters with love instead of bitterness. The strength that entered the room quietly, and left everyone changed. Julian stood surrounded by people, yet more alone than he had ever been. His cruelty hadn't diminished her. It had exposed him. After the applause faded. In the weeks that followed, Clara's studio gained attention. Not from scandal, but from admiration. People sought her work because it carried a story. A story of endurance. Of self-worth. Of choosing grace over revenge. Her daughters grew up knowing exactly who their mother was. And Clara? She slept peacefully. Because she learned something powerful. You don't rise by tearing others down. You rise by standing firm when the world expects you to fall. Sometimes, the invitation meant to humiliate becomes the stage where dignity shines the brightest. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories of resilience and quiet strength. And tell us in the comments. What would you have done if you were in her place? Your voice might be the encouragement someone else needs today.